You are listening to an episode of Financial Insight with Rob Wilson. Our mission is to change the speed of wealth creation for you and your family. We invite you to visit our website, IamRobWilson.com. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Now get ready to change the speed.
I hope you guys are really listening today. We had a number of people who called in today, and they asked some very, very important questions. And I think that is key. That is key because we have operated in our community so backwards when it relates to credit and personal finance. Listen, I will state my claim to it. I will tell you pound for pound that in our community, 90% of the things that we do are damaging our credit. 90% of the things that we are doing is damaging our credit. And we're not doing anything wrong, so to speak, but we're not doing the right things. We're not doing the right things. One of the areas that I like to tackle more than anything else is when we talk about the one area that hurts people. There's two areas that I think hurt consumers the most. Okay. Now, as it relates to FICO, they talk about these areas, and they break these systems down a little bit differently, and they're not always factual. I'll give you an example. Let's look at the 5 things that your credit score considers. They consider your payment history, the amount that you owe, the length of your credit history, how long you've been established. They consider your new credit and the types of credit that is in use. Now, on the scale, when they talk about new credit and the types of credit that's in use, they say only about 10% for each of those categories. And I want to tell you something. That's where a lot of you go wrong. And that is the biggest area that has the most variables. Did anybody understand that? These two areas, new credit and the type of credits, hurt you more than anything else. It hurts you more than credit history. It hurts you more than the amount that you owe. It hurts you more than your payment history. It really does. New credit is identified as how much debt are you taking on and how you are taking on that new debt. To give you an example, someone that's breaking out of the gate right now that's trying to improve and rebuild their credit, they will go and apply for a number of credit cards, okay? Where one is the inquiries for the application of, let's say you apply for 4 credit cards, you apply for 5 credit cards and you got 3. So let's use that scenario. Well, the 5 inquiries itself hurts your score. The 5 inquiries hurt your score. The 3 new accounts that you have hurts your score because you took on 3 new credit lines, okay? And until there's some history of these credit lines to prove that you can manage these credit lines, your score drops. So you here you are trying to rebuild or establish credit for the first time, and you are doing what is, quote unquote, the right things, okay? Some people sometimes don't believe that you can do the right things and still go wrong. But here it is, okay? Let's look at this for a moment. You got 5 inquiries. Anything more than 4 inquiries in a 2-year time frame hurts your credit score. You got 5. You get 3 new lines of credit issued to you in this very short period of time. Okay, let's use this short period of time being 60 days, 60 to 90 days. So in 60 to 90 days, you get 3 brand new accounts. All right. Well, that hurts your credit as well, because let's say you got a new one every month. There's no history there for them to evaluate. So it's going to take anywhere between 120 to 180 days to get some evaluation of your score or what you will actually be doing with those credit files. Okay. So now your credit score dropped from the inquiries, your credit score dropped from new credit, and now the type of credit. Let's say that all three of these credit cards that you got or that you received are these consumer finance credit cards. You know, those Providians and MBNAs and those cheap Capital Ones and those other Action Card accounts and all those other little small mom pop give you $500, $300 credit lines, okay? Let's say you got three of those. Well, they are consumer finance accounts, and they are the highest risk products known to mankind as it relates to credit cards, okay? So now you lose points there. So technically, here you are doing the right thing, the proper things in supposedly the right way, and you take on 3 new credit accounts. You are paying them consistently on time, okay? You are paying them consistently on time, right? And your score drops 38 points, 40 points, 50 points. You ask, what in the hell happened here? How does that happen? Well, you took on new credit, 3 accounts in a short period of time. You took on new credit too fast, the type of credit used, and the number of inquiries. That's deep, ain't it? But you have never looked at it that way before, have you? No one has ever taught that to you before, have they? No, they haven't. And in our community, we suffer from that. I have to give you the education on this side of it. You have to understand the dynamics of why and why not to do something. We started the show off with fakers, takers, breakers, and makers. Fakers are the people that come into your life. They get very close to you. They become almost like your personal assistant to some degree. They come like, what's another term? They become your bosom buddy. You share everything with them. You share your thoughts, your emotions. You give them keys to your apartments, to your home. You let them drive your car. You even hand them your credit card to go make charges. They've gotten so close to you that they seem like they are one of those makers. They're going to try to make something happen with you and for you. But they are fakers. They don't want anything. They don't want anything. They just want to be able to reap some reward of what you are experiencing. And believe it or not, even at your lowest point, you can still draw fakers, takers, and breakers and makers into your life. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to be riding a high cloud to have these people seek you out. Now, takers, it looks just like a faker. They'll come in and get alongside of you. I want to help you. I want to be a part of what you're doing. I want to help further your cause. I want to do these things, and all the while they are taking what they can get. They are taking what they can get. And then there are breakers. Breakers is just like the faker and the taker. The breaker come in your life and they get close to you as well. But they are the ones that sounds off a lot sooner than a faker or a taker will. A breaker is the one that's always saying, well, you can't do that. I don't think that's right for you to do. Why do you want to do that for? I don't understand why people always want to do this. Why you going to college? You trying to be a doctor? You trying to start your own business? Those are breakers. They want to break any momentum that you might have of being successful. They want to break your opportunity of going to that next level. They want to break your chances of having that right person into your life. They want to break your chances of being able to move into a new city and start a new life and start things over. They don't care what they stop. They just want to stop something that you're trying to do. And then there are makers. Makers look just like a breaker, a taker, and a faker. But the real true point about a maker is when all of it hit the fan, when everything crashed, when hard times are upon you, when you don't have confidence in yourself, when you don't really know exactly what to do, a maker will be there to guide you. A maker will be there that be that person that you can lean on. A maker is that one person that will pull you up, be that support mechanism that you need, even when you slip and fall on your own. When you make a mistake, a maker is there to say, hey, you know what? We could do that all over again. A young lady, I had an instance where she's pregnant and she's seeking to buy a particular baby crib that she desired to have. And she as soon as she found out that she was pregnant, she was like, I'm going to go get this crib. I want this crib right here. And I suggested to her that she wait. And she followed that advice. Reluctantly, she didn't even tell me she followed that advice, but reluctantly she did. Okay? And then she goes and she looks on this computer and she finds out that they are all out of them. They don't even know if they're going to get any more. I shouldn't have even listened to you because they don't have any more now. Well, she can perceive that as being a breaker, me being a breaker or a taker. But I immediately said to her, I said, why don't I just call the manufacturer and send them to you? Well, they don't sell to consumers. I can approach a manufacturer differently than just being a consumer. And I can have the manufacturer ship her one. That's a maker. Even when you feel that things have come to a halt, came to an end, it's a maker that will step up and make those things happen. All of those individuals come into your life. Every time you're around a person, the next time you're in the company of someone, look at that person and quietly ask yourself, is this person a maker in my life, a taker in my life, a faker in my life, or a breaker in my life? And keep in mind that they all look the same. But as it relates to your financial life, when people begin to ask you to do financial things for them, you ask the same questions. Am I going to do this because I'm dealing with a faker, a taker, a breaker? Or am I going to do this because I'm involved with a maker? Some of you'll probably struggle for a while as you learn the process and learn to identify the different personalities of people. But it's important in your financial growth. As you begin to balance your financial life, it's going to be important that you recognize and that you identify takers, fakers, breakers, and makers. And some of you, and I know I'm guilty of this, some of you have allowed breakers to stay in your life longer than you should have. And some of you have allowed makers to get out of your life. See, you treated the maker like they was a breaker or a taker, and you pushed them away, and you kept the fakers and the takers in your life. You know, there's this saying that if you're the smartest person among your group, if everybody come to you for all the answers, you're in the wrong group. Think about that. All of this has an impact on your financial life. I know women who would not generally spend money, but they are encouraged to spend money by a girlfriend. And that girlfriend always end up being the one that's broke. Think about that for a moment. Some of you got a friend like that. Girl, let's go to the mall. And they don't even have a dime. Can you spot me this time? Takers, fakers, breakers, and makers. There are one of them in all of your lives. And it's important, not necessarily that you make decisions on people and call them names. Oh, you ain't nothing but a breaker. You ain't nothing but. No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you that as you look to begin to create and build a financial freedom, one of the aspects that you're going to be responsible for is providing, protecting, and preserving a way of life for you and your family. You have to be able to identify takers, fakers, and makers and breakers. You have to be able to identify them in all their glory.
You have been listening to an episode of Financial Insight with Rob Wilson. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our podcast. Visit IamRobWilson.com and hear additional episodes. Also support our mission as we take financial literacy to every house. Remember, every decision that you make either brings you closer to or removes you further away from your financial goals.